Dajahao, my name is Garrick, and welcome back to Taiwan, Laowai. It is the start of our 4th day in Taichung. We are mostly recovered from our epic misadventures of the day before. We learned an important lesson. Take things slowly, take things at a reasonable pace. Don't be crazy about trying to fit everything in at once. Luckily, that's exactly what we have planned for today. This would block my face, it totally is. Sorry. So I've mentioned before that Taichung is sort of built like a series of concentric circles. There's the center blob of city that we're currently in, there's a bit of a ring around that, then there's a field ring around all of that, and then there's an even more field ring out of all of that, and so on and so forth. And over the past 2 days, we've sort of been popping out into the third ring out, in a sense, like going a bit farther afield to explore the stuff that's a bit further west or a bit further north. So today, we're going to take a quick look at the second ring, aka the ring that is directly around the center. Basically, we're gonna go a little west, hit a place, then go north, and then curve around, and like head around the west and the north of this ring, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry, you will see the vision once I got all my Google Maps nonsense up on here. First though, I think a little light breakfast is in order, so let's see if we can find something to eat and drink, shall we? Holy shit. If that's what all Filipino cuisine is like, I need to eat more Filipino cuisine. Good God. Highly recommend you visit that place when you come to Taichung. It was incredible. Not too expensive either. Food and a drink just set me back 205 NTD for a very satisfying lunch. And now that the engine's got some fuel in it, I think it's time to grab a bike and start our day properly. It's a sunny day, hopefully that stays true because I would like this warm weather on my face as much as possible. Let's get going. Alright folks, we have made our way west once again. Not as far west as we were yesterday, but far enough that we're just slightly out of the main chunk of city. This is the Calligraphy Greenway. It's a long path stretching north filled with all kinds of different trees and wonderful shade and all this nonsense that you see. In general, I think Taichung has been the most in touch with nature out of any city I've spent time in Taiwan. Like I've said in previous videos, cities in Taiwan tend to be in pretty close relationship with the land they're built on. You never have to go too far one way or the other to be out of urban sprawl and into rural mountain communities or whatever. But Taichung specifically feels intertwined with nature. You've got all those canals running through it, all those greenways, these tree-shaded paths down every aisle. It's not just civilization and nature in very close proximity, they bleed into each other, they snake throughout each other. I think that's part of the reason that this city just gives off such a good vibe, you know? Because especially in the center bulb, you never feel too far removed from just natural bliss and relaxation. Not entirely sure why it's called the Calligraphy Greenway specifically. See if I can do a little research about that and put that in the video here, because it's probably a very interesting story one way or another. Anyways, we actually have a museum at the end of this path that we're heading to next, so I'm gonna shut up for a bit and let you enjoy the scenery as we make our way there. My god, the weather is lovely today. This may be the first vacation I've taken where the weather is actually on our side. My longtime viewers may remember that I've had bad experiences in the past with weather messing up my plans or making things miserable. This time, though, everything is turning up a-okay. Anyways, it appears we have arrived at the end of the Calligraphy Greenway, and that means we have reached our next destination. Behold, the National Taiwan Museum of Fine Arts. And as always, this place looks way bigger than I imagined it would on Google Maps. We may be spending a lot more time here than I initially anticipated. But we will see. Fingers crossed. There it is, there's in camera. Fingers crossed. Interesting, there's a little valley built into the space here. That's a very fascinating way to design a museum. Welp, we done dare screwed ourselves, partner. You know, I said this trip had better vibes and we were having better luck. We keep running in on places when they're closed. Whatever, it's fine. I'm mentally readjusting my schedule in my head. I think we will have time to visit here. At this point, I'm planning to make Thursday my catch-up day, which is day 6. And if I play my cards right, we should be able to comfortably hit everything that I've missed out on so far. Probably. On the bright side, if we are not doing the museum today, that does leave us more time to explore this beautiful park around it and check out some of the other sites I had planned. So, you know, not a total loss. Alright, I think this is a good place to call the video. I know this was pretty much just footage of me walking around a beautiful greenery, and I hope you're ready for more of that, because there's gonna be a bit of that today. Which would have been broken up with a museum visit if it were actually open! But it's fine, I'm not upset, we will have time to fix that mistake later. This is why you plan for a week-long trip. You have time in your schedule to accommodate last-minute changes like this. We will do just fine today. Don't worry. So thank you once again for joining me at Taiwan Lao Wai. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Ooh, that's a cool rock back there. And as always, I'll see you next time. 再见. Bye-bye.